This might just be the most epic RuneScape community-led project I've ever seen. Software that's very accurate at predicting if a player is a bot in-game, that also has the ability to track bots all across the game, and with a little twist I can use to catch bots muling their GP. I'm gonna assume that basically everyone watching this video knows what RuneLite is, a third-party client that also allows for third-party plugins. The RuneLite team verifies the plugins to make sure they're not malicious, or against RuneScape's game rules. Today I want to showcase a plugin that allows you to bust bots and track your progress on banning those bots. Huge shout out to Ferraric, who created this plugin, as well as the head developers working on this project. Let's do a quick showcase of what the plugin can do and how fun it is to use. There's a massive Lava Dragon bot farm running right now. When you see a player in game and right click on them, you can click predict. The system gives a breakdown of their predictions with a primary prediction, which is what the system decides it thinks the player is. In this case, it's 100% sure that this account is a magic bot. You can track your own bot busting progress in the upper part of the plugin. The manual tab shows how many players you've manually uploaded by clicking predict and then clicking flag. Possible bans means on the high scores they're either banned, their name was changed, or their stats are too low to pull the high scores data. The confirmed bans are actually feedback from Jagex that the account has been banned. You can also see how accurate you are at manually flagging bots. It's super easy to install the plugin. All you have to do is click plugin hub and then type in bot and it'll be the first one that shows up. When you click install, it tells you the plugin submits the names, locations, and gear of encountered players, as well as your IP address. There was no way around that. But if you're still worried about having your IP address out there, I have a solution for you. ExpressVPN, which is what I use to keep my IP address private. Every device has its own unique IP address, which can reveal personal details about you, like where you live, to people with malicious intent, like DDoS attacks. ExpressVPN can protect you from DDoS attacks by switching your true IP address to one of their own, so you can stay anonymous and safe while playing RuneScape. There are plenty of other good reasons to use ExpressVPN. If you play a game that doesn't have servers in your area, or those servers are worse than in other areas, you can use ExpressVPN to connect to other areas with stronger servers, which can reduce your overall ping rate in game. It's super easy to use ExpressVPN. All you do is select the server you want to connect to, hit the button, and within 3 to 5 seconds, it's all set up. So find out how you can get 3 months for free by clicking the link in the description. That's www.expressvpn.com/sirpugger. Thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. Let me explain how it all works. After you've installed the plugin, when you see another player in game, the location of the player, the username, and its gear are sent to the bot busting server. Currently, location and gear data are not used in the prediction. If you do manually flag the player, an extra flag is stored in the database to pay more attention to that account. So the player is now in their system, and the system scrapes the high scores daily to get the player's stats. Based on those high scores alone, the system makes a prediction. So for example, it could look at the ratio of magic XP to total XP, as well as distribution of boss kill counts. That pretty easily predicts mage-only Zulrah bots, since they only have Zulrah kill count, and most of the XP on the account is magic XP. Pretty soon, the value of the gear and or the location of the player may also factor into this prediction, which will add accuracy. The machine learning model actually learns because Jagex helps the team out by confirming which accounts are banned. Each day, the machine learning model gets that new data on players' bans and is retrained, so it's constantly getting better. Right now, only using the high scores data, the model is over 97% accurate at identifying bots. I'm guessing with the implementation of the value of a player's gear and their location patterns, the prediction model could likely get its accuracy rating well over 99%. Let's put this model to the test, starting out with the temple spiders in the Forthos dungeon. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a real player chinning the spiders. The model agrees the highest prediction is a real player at 39%. That means if the model had to make a decision, it would say it's a real player. Looking at the player's stats, they do have a lot of variable stats, but they also have 99 mage, 79 range, and most other stats are very low. It's actually a tough call because a lot of bots have different stats, but high mage and range. So the system wins on that one. But I'm actually at temple spiders because there's a massive bot farm here, so let's see how the system does. Here's one of the bots right now, and as you can see, the bot has high melee stats, and most of its other stats are trained up a little bit, but not over 30. The model is 98% sure it's a PVM melee bot. Something I think that's pretty interesting is these bots actually switch over to full guffins to heal themselves up while they're killing the temple spiders. The spiders are pretty good GP per hour. They drop noted red spider eggs. There's one of these bots in basically every single world as well. Now, of course, the model's not perfect. Let's look at a massive bot farm I've been tracking for a couple weeks now at Gargoyles. And just bear with me because you're not gonna think these accounts are bots at first. Take this account right here, for example. Over 2K total, 125 clue scrolls, lots of bounty hunter kills, and a lot of different boss kills. Obviously, when a prediction is generated on this account, it's 99% confident this is a real player. At first glance, I'd probably think so too. Let's look look at another account called What a Name. Both of these accounts are wearing fire capes, torsos, barrows gloves, and have a dragon defender, lots of untradables that take a lot of time to get. This account has 1850 total level, 26 million XP in attack strength and defense, 95 slayer. Primary prediction is once again 99% sure it's a real player. But I've been getting a lot of tip-offs about all of these accounts at Gargoyles. I even got a tip-off recently from a guy who said he was hacked and turned into a gargoyle bot. He sent me screenshots and it's all starting to make sense. But there's a lot more proof than that. You can actually break these bots. Take any relatively valuable drop a gargoyle drops, like uncut diamonds. There's a door right north of the gargoyle enclosure, and if you drop a line of diamonds through that door one tile in, wait for them to appear, the bots will follow that trail and go through the door. You can shut the door and the bots do not reopen the door. I've done this on at least 10 different accounts just to make sure, and every single time it works. I even witnessed one of these bots without a hammer to finish off the gargoyle, and I slowly watched the bot die to the gargoyle, which was one of the more satisfying things that's happened to me. Just because the system fails with those really high level hacked accounts doesn't mean it can't detect accounts that are likely bots that are also hacked accounts with some other stats. Take this account for example, which has a pretty classic Barrows bot setup. I'm not certain it's a bot, but I'm pretty sure. The system decides it is a PVM ranged magic bot, and looking at its stats, it still does have a few 50s and 60s that have nothing to do with Barrows. But of course, with even less random stats, it gets better and better, so it's actually really good at detecting these Barrows bots. Just like the Zulrah bots, they only have Barrows KC, which helps a lot. I have been seeing a lot of bots with really high kill count lately, so I'm really hoping Jagex is gonna start getting on this a little bit more. This account is so clearly a Barrows bot and has no business with 4,500 Barrows KC, and there are accounts with much higher than that. Let's go over how the team can start to track these bots to the point where we might discover where they're muling their gold. And let's take one of the largest long-running bot farms in the game for an example, Green Dragon bots. I hopped about 30 different worlds and collected over 100 Green Dragon bot usernames. I sent the usernames to the team and they pulled all the data for me on these accounts. And remember, the data is when any player with the plugin installed has come into contact with any of these accounts. The data shows the timestamp that the player saw the bot, the region it saw the bot in, and obviously the name of the bot. Now I filtered the data you see on screen for when more than one bot was seen together. Obviously you see a lot of these bots in the Ferox Enclave, the Grand Exchange, the Corporal Beast, which is where they teleport to get to the Green Dragons, but we can start to see some outliers that might be mule locations. I pulled 2 potential entries to focus in on. 3 of these accounts were seen together at the Tree Gnome Stronghold. What's even more compelling though is that 2 of these accounts were seen together in the southwest of Clan Wars. Not only have I caught LMS bots muling there before, but the team found similar locations for Zulrah bots muling as well. I'm gonna leave the actual hunting in game for these mules for an upcoming video. There are some really epic things the team has implemented using the data on banned bots and locations. You can actually make a heat map of bans for any region in RuneScape. Purple is the most dense while yellow is the least dense, aka more players were in those locations in the purple spots and then were banned. Take Draenor Village for a quick example. The square is completely purple because of all the master farmer bots there. Quick footnote, the heat maps were recently updated and some of the old data is a little bit off, which is why you might see a yellow dot in an impossible place. But it's super interesting to look at the flow of bots in different locations. Take Varrock for example. Of course on the west side you have a lot of free-to-play woodcutting bots using the West Varrock Bank. You have a lot of Battlestaff shop bots right in the middle in the Battlestaff shop, but then there's this stream of bots going east. I was guessing there were plank making bots going to the sawmill northeast of Varrock. Just to double check, I pulled up the heat map over the sawmill, but that's when I saw a dense line of bots exiting the eastern gate and going south. I went to tile southeast and it actually started to make sense. This is the teleportation spot when players use the dig site pennant. They teleport in and head west to the earth altar, so these are all rune crafting bots. The bot busting team pulled the stats of some of these accounts that were flagged here, just to confirm they're all rune crafting bots. But I also noticed a less denser region using the barge to go to Fossil Island. On Fossil Island, it's pretty clear to see what the bots are up to. Lots of birdhouse bots, which I've covered in a different video. Also, it seems like there are lots of volcanic ash mining bots on the island. I could play around with this thing for hours. It's pretty hard to distinguish bots from players in World 2 at the Duel Arena. It makes it much easier with this plugin though, because you can see exactly where those bots stand. I remember back in the day there were a ton of bots in Soul Wars. I haven't investigated there yet since it was added into old school RuneScape, but just by creating a heat map, it's pretty evident that there are a lot of accounts that are being banned. Of course, the project is a work in progress, so if you want me to update you guys on the progress of this team in another video, make sure to like the video and tell me in the comments. The more people that install the plugin, the more data there is and the better better the system will get. Also remember, Jagex is still the bottom line on bans. Jagex is the only one determining if an account is a bot or not. This system itself doesn't decide anything, but it is helping make the process more efficient. And it's turning it into a game a little bit because you can track your own scores. So I definitely recommend installing the plugin, and if you want to talk more to other people in this community, definitely join their Discord server as well. The link will be in the description.